I, F27, found out I was pregnant very recently. My husband, M34, and his family are beyond happy and excited. From what I heard, my husband was married 2 times before, but couldn't have kids for 10 years. This is obviously a huge deal for his family, because his mom will be a first-time grandma with this baby. They threw a celebration dinner for us, and as his mom and I were talking about the baby, she told me about how she already started making memories, started having keepsakes of her grandbaby. I felt a bit confused and asked if my husband bought something for the baby and gave it to her. She said no, but he did bring her my used pregnancy test and gave it to her to store as a memory of the news of her grandbaby's existence. I was floored. I looked at my husband like, "Did you really do that?" And he nodded while smiling. NGL, I felt creeped out, disgusted and very uncomfortable. After the initial shock, I just went off on both of them, calling what they did creepy and disgusting and highly violating. My husband argued that it was not a huge deal. He just grabbed the test once I got rid of it, put it in a plastic bag, and gifted it to his mom as keepsake. I told him it made me feel violated and creeped out because that test had my literal pee on it. His mom then said something about taking care of the smell, and I lashed out even more and demanded they get rid of it, but they kept arguing, calling me controlling. Bill asked me to calm down, but I decided to just grab stuff and go home. My husband started arguing about how this is all just an overreaction and said that I ruined his and his family's joy by how I behaved after finding out about the pregnancy test. He said for him and his mom it's all about the baby, but I somehow made this whole thing about me and hurt their feelings in the process. But that was my literal pee on that test, and I just couldn't help but flip out, even if it ruined their joy for the news. Did I overreact? From what you heard, he was married 2 times before. What do you even know about this man? That's not a normal thing to be unsure about. Agree. I can't get past this wording. From whom did Op hear this information? If it wasn't her husband, something is seriously wrong with this relationship. Info. From what I've heard, from what you've heard, like word on the street is, you heard, or you went directly to the source and asked him about his past relationships. Right? WTH is that supposed to mean? NTA. To do that without your go ahead is bizarre. To double down and blame you for being upset is concerning. Decent people would get rid of it and apologize for making you feel that way, not try to make you feel worse. That for your husband and his mother, this is all about the baby and he's angry you made anything about you, the person who is pregnant, that it's their feelings that matter to him, while they dismiss yours. This lack of respect and consideration for you is worrisome. Eater, I've already given my judgment, so this isn't an INFO request, but do you know why your husband's previous marriages ended? Do you know why your husband's previous marriages ended? From the way she mentioned them, *FROM, what I've heard, he's had 2 marriages before. I don't think her husband tells her much. NTA. First grandbaby after 10 years plus of waiting. Girl, there's a lot more in store for you. I wish you good luck. We may be seeing you here frequently, and in that subreddit with boundary stomping mothers-in-law. Mill going to want to be in the birthing room down by your feet, grabbing the baby as it enters the room, carrying it off to show people. Placenta kept as a memento. NTA. Also, those results on that test will fade over time, so not even worth saving. That's weird and sort of gross that your husband saved the test, and weirder still he gave it to his mom. Also, what's this all about the baby shit? Of course your pregnancy is about you too. Yeah, not enough people are focused on that part. Op isn't just an incubator, she matters as well as the baby. And let's be honest, taking that pregnancy test has nothing to do with the baby. That was all for them. The baby won't give a shit. They need to back the hell off. You are his 3rd marriage. Why did his previous 2 fail? I'm guessing mommy dearest was a huge factor. I think I see why, at 34, you're his 3rd wife. NTA. But she's only his 3rd wife from what I heard. As in, he's never actually told her how many times he's been married. This is apparently just what she's been able to cobble together from local gossip or something. So much yikes all around. I'm sorry, what? They said it was about their happiness and the baby, but not about you? The one creating life in your womb. You do realize it's a first step to never having a say in your own child's life. It's gonna be your husband and his wife, oops I mean mother. NTA, but reevaluate seriously if you want a baby with this man and want to stay with him. Mirror flags all around. It's easier to cross state lines, even multiple state lines, while still pregnant than after the baby is born. Just saying. NTA. Start laying down hard boundaries now or soon enough mama's boy husband will throw a tantrum about Miel not having a front row seat and a filmed crew in the delivery room. Yeah, that whole side of the family seems a little too invested in his procreating. It's giving weird vibes. NTA. So for them, it's all about the baby, and your husband is accusing you of making your pregnancy about you. And you're his third wife, because the previous two were infertile. How dare their broodmare have feelings, is apparently their attitude. Unless that's the kind of life you want, carefully reconsider your situation. She's an incubator, she isn't allowed individual thought. Just make the baby for husband and his mom to raise together, cause she's not gonna get a say in either. That is a weird. Give them a dated poo sample and apologize. You know that some crazy moms keep the first poop of their baby? I think that grandma here is going to be one of those people who does it. NTA. You're fucking in for it though, friend. This is probably just the tip of the iceberg. I'm confused how anyone thinks she overreacted. Consider. On some level her husband knew he was doing something weird. He took that test without telling her and gave it to his family without telling her. If he really thought this was a completely normal, sweet thing to do, he would have told her up front. He knew he did something she wouldn't like, but he thought springing it on her in front of the family would mean she wouldn't be comfortable reacting this way. He lost that bet. Good for Op for calling him out on this. NTA. In my opinion, the most worrying aspect is that he gave it to his mom without running it past you. Maybe this is just a one-time bit of weirdness, but I would worry that it might be setting the stage for BF involving his mom in other ways you're not comfortable with, without telling you, and expecting you to suck it up because my grandbaby. NTA. If they dismiss her feelings like this now, imagine when the baby is born. NTA. I would absolutely be rethinking continuing with everything involving this man and his mother. Info. Have you given any thought to why you're the third wife? NTA. I get that some people keep the pee stick, but that's usually the mom/dad of the baby. To have given it to his mom without even consulting you was weird and way over the line. What if you'd wanted to keep it? It feels like they view this pregnancy as his, and you just happen to be the vessel. I would have some serious conversations with your spouse. Boundaries now, before your baby is here. NTA. Immediately my first thought was him and his mother are having this baby through you. Have there really been no other signs that your husband is still firmly shoved up his mother's asterisk? I mean, dude's on his third marriage at only 34. Why did his other two fail? Info. How long have you guys been together, and what do you mean by backquote? From what I've heard he's been married 2 times before, but couldn't have kids for 10 years. I'm stuck on the backquote from what I heard, and it's way more concerning to me than the pregnancy test keepsake. Combined with backquote, it's all about the baby, and not you. This is giving me the ick. NTA. Ian, I have kept all my first positive tests for my kids, but they are my kids. No way in hell I would want someone else keeping my piss sticks. That's like keeping someone else's covered test. Exactly. What if she wanted to keep it herself? It's not the husband's property to give away. NTA. NTA. This woman is going to be a nightmare. Start setting those firm boundaries now, or you're going to find yourself co-parenting with your mill. NTA. If this was really no big deal, then why didn't your husband just say, hey, you threw the test away. Mind if I wash it off and give it to my mom? She would probably want it as a keepsake. But nope. He fished it out of the trash and gave it away without a word. That makes it weird. But, is this something your mill has planned on for 10 plus years? Did she tell him, hey, if you and your partner ever get pregnant, make sure to keep the test and give it to me? And he remembered for 10 plus years? Or is it something he thought to keep to give to his mom? Because that's really weird. Or did he call her immediately after you took the test and she's like, Jim, that pregnancy test? NTA, that is gross. But I think those things dry up eventually and the lines disappear. So this woman will be in possession of a dry plastic stick that you once peed on. So, joke's on her. I'm begin to keepsakes and I never held on to my pregnancy tests. I just took a picture of them to show people, but then those things got chucked in the bin. NTA, the idea of someone keeping something you peed on for sentimental reasons is odd. But this is just the beginning. Your in-laws have been wanting a grandchild and they will be involved beyond what you are comfortable with. NTA, you and husband need to see a licensed counselor now. NTA, gross. Is your husband having a baby with you or his mom? NTA, this is your life high. And his mom all about the baby, you are just an incubator who hits someone up a stick. Wait till the idiots realize they fade after a bit. NTA, and this is weird as fuck. NTA, if that ruined his family's joy about the pregnancy, your husband expects you to stay on a very short and narrow leash. NTA, that's a bizarre thing to do, and even weirder to double down when you said it made them uncomfortable. Also, he said for him and his mom it's all about the baby, but I somehow made this whole thing about me. Who do they think is growing the baby inside them? Is he going to give her the baby's cord stump next? That's not outside of the realm of possibility. Some people dry it out and make it into jewelry. It's one thing your husband keeping it without telling you, but to give it secretly to his mother? I agree that it's creepy and violating, and I don't think you overreacted at all. Your medical test isn't a memory for your Mill. I mean, did husband think of this all by himself, or did Mill put him up to it? Why didn't he ask you if it was okay? NTA. FYI, that woman is going to be perched near your feet staring intently at your V** while you give birth. Even if you don't want that. Are you sure you want to be an incubator for this family? Because your Mill and husband will be calling all the shots with your child. NTA, but you may want to think long and hard about this. NTA, but you should be thinking hard about whether you want to continue down this road. NTA, but it makes me think about the last 2 times he was married. What happened with those? And he's still in his 30s and has been married twice? Was it because of control issues and mommy? They couldn't give him the child he and his family feel entitled to, so he had to keep looking until he found the perfect incubator, of course. NTA, that no doubt should have been cleared with you